when he was teaching there at this junior college, uh, I was teaching in Franklin Square. So he was in Westchester. I was in Franklin Square. No, Franklin Square is Long Island. Westchester is, just up a little bit. But we couldn't be together. There was no place in between there, you see. We both had to keep these jobs. So it was difficult sometimes. So after we were married, we only were together uh, on weekends right after we were married. What were we going to do? We couldn't rent an apartment any place. Uh, we never knew when he was going to be leaving. So we started our married life being together weekends. Yeah, you did what you had to in those days. And I stayed living with my mother and dad, and Harold would come home weekends, and we'd live there with my mother and dad. But there was no, there was nothing else we could do. He'd be called any time and have to go off. But you see, it was very different. It had to be. I mean, this was war times, and you did what you had to. But we weren't the only ones in positions like that. Uh, a lot of my friends were in those same kind of situations where they got married, and we all got married around the same time. But we were all young when we got married. Uh, my friends, and they were all the same situations, like. But so we only were really living together on weekends, if you can imagine that. It was Roosevelt, FDR. Yes, yes, everybody loved him. He did yes, he was a good president. Uh, and everything was, he was elected for third terms, which was unheard of. People weren't pulled apart now. Everybody knew that we were in a war. We had to do everything for the war, and everybody there wasn't anybody who was not in favor of doing anything that had to be done for the war. She was a wonderful woman. Eleanor was. She was a very strong woman. Well, I can remember when I was a child, he was president then because he had 3 terms. Um, and I can remember my family taking my brother and me to Washington to see the Capitol and all like this. Uh, and when we went, you could go right up next to the White House in those days, and you could go in the White House and the Capitol and all this. And I can remember my father making a wrong turn one time, and he got in, so he went through the White House, in front of the White House twice, and Eleanor was outside. She waved to us. We waved. Really? Things were different back then. Oh, have times changed? We got waved at by Eleanor.